Has your mom or dad or grandparents ever said, whatever you do, you better never put me in a nursing home? Well, that might be because when they were looking for assistance for their parents, nursing homes were the only option outside of family caregivers and visiting nurses. I'm your host, Valerie Borgman, and today we're going to talk about skilled nursing, the new nursing home. Or is it? Welcome to Desperately Seeking Senior Living, a podcast for sons, daughters, grandkids, and spouses who suddenly find themselves tangled in the search for senior living and care. If you like today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and check out our doable download in today's show notes for a printable summary of the show and a bonus tip from our guest. You're listening to our doable tips, short answers to your questions. Don't see your question listed? Send us a note. Then don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an answer. Hi, and welcome to the show. So we hear this sentiment over and over again, and honestly, it's valid. In the 70s, nursing homes were known as the place you went to die, and we actually still hear this today. When you compare skilled nursing with assisted living, well, there really is no comparison. Yet there are situations where it might be unavoidable. So we're going to talk about what they actually are and then go over some of the reasons that skilled nursing might be the only option even today. But before we dive in, I want to share what families we've worked with have said about the skilled nursing homes their loved ones were in. And it's not that I want to add to that bad reputation, because unfortunately, most of what we hear is bad. But I do think it's important for you to hear what other families have said. I feel like the more information you have, the more you'll be prepared to advocate and know what to expect. So here are actual complaints we've heard from families. All of my mom's clothes are missing, and she's wearing someone else's clothing. My dad's brand new Seahawks sweatshirt disappeared. And this is a big deal in Washington State, and I'm sure you have your own sports teams that would be a big deal. The food is so bad that my dad won't eat, and now they want to put him on a feeding tube. They didn't tell me that putting my husband on hospice meant that they were canceling the order for his wheelchair. They won't let my mom walk. They're making her sit in a wheelchair, and now she's getting weaker. And on a side note, this is actually a total liability issue for the building. And finally, my mom pushed the button and no one came for over 30 minutes. I couldn't get her to the bathroom by myself, so she had to go in her Depends. I know these sound horrible, and hopefully this has not happened to you. It doesn't apply to every single skilled nursing, and we have had a few families that were very pleased with the care their loved one got. But the truth is that many skilled nursing facilities simply don't have the staffing they would like to have. I guarantee you, though, that the staff they do have really wants to do a good job, and they are trying their best. But this is also why your advocacy is so important. So, what exactly is skilled nursing? Well, it's the same as a nursing home. And while I can't find any evidence of this, I'm convinced the name change was an effort to overcome that bad reputation that nursing homes had. They're basically a step down from a hospital setting. They're usually very clinical and feel very much like a hospital. There are CNAs, nurses, a director that oversees the building and staff, social workers, admissions, and visiting doctors. Most offer both short-term rehabilitation and long-term. So short-term rehab is usually where the hospital might recommend that you go after a major surgery. And one of the benefits of in-house rehab like this is that you could get physical therapy for up to 7 days a week if your doctor orders it. But if you were at home recovering, in-home care usually wouldn't be able to accommodate 7 days, not to mention you'd have to pay out of pocket for some of that, even if you could find a company that could staff all 7 days. Now, Medicare usually covers some, if not all, of a short-term rehab stay in the skilled nursing setting, as well as in the home. But don't take my word for it. Make sure you check your policy. So we talked about short-term rehab. Well, what is long-term care? So, long term care means that this could become your mom's permanent home. Keep in mind that this is a wing of the same facility and usually has that same clinical feel to it. Your mom also may be sharing a room, depending on your insurance and what she can afford. And this is usually a room separated by a curtain, very much like that hospital setting we've been talking about. So let's talk about cost. Depending on where you live and your loved one's care needs, we're talking up to $14,000 a month, maybe even more. That's private pay out of your pocket, unless you qualify for state assistance, otherwise known as Medicaid, government assistance. And we've actually got a great episode that talks about the difference between Medicaid and Medicare in the skilled nursing setting. And I'll put a link to that in the show notes. And most skilled nursing facilities do accept Medicaid, but not all of them. So you definitely want to make sure you ask that question. And one of the other benefits of actually being in the skilled nursing setting is that usually their business office manager can help you with that Medicaid process. So let's talk about the amenities that you can expect to find in skilled nursing, whether you're there for a short term rehab stay or this is your long term permanent home. You'll usually find an activity program, salon, 3 meals a day, transportation, laundry, housekeeping, the rehab we talked about, and of course, the medical assistance with call buttons and everything that goes along with that. Sounds a lot like assisted living, doesn't it? Well, in that respect, it is. There are a few reasons, though, that you would need skilled nursing over assisted living. So let's talk about those. And they are actually different in different states. So you'll definitely want to check the rules that are in your state. The first reason is financial. There are states where skilled nursing is the only long term care option for seniors who are on Medicaid. So, those who need that assistance with activities of daily living, which we talked about last week, such as eating, showering, and dressing, these seniors may actually already be living in assisted living, but they've run out of money. And so now they need to move to that skilled nursing setting. In other states, such as Washington state, if you were to call a skilled nursing facility and say, my mom needs help using the restroom, well, they would probably refer you to an assisted living because there are many assisted living buildings in Washington that will accept Medicaid. The second reason that you might need a skilled nursing facility, or your mom or your dad, is that the skilled setting can accommodate those with very high care needs. So, the use of mechanical lifts, bed rails, IV therapy, catheters, feeding tubes, and ventilators. And then the third reason that you might need that skilled nursing setting is secure memory care and or those with behaviors, things that they're just not able to control such as shouting or physical aggression. But not every skilled nursing offers memory care or behavioral health. So these are usually specialized programs and it's definitely a question you're going to want to ask. On a side note, in many states such as Washington, adult family homes are actually able to provide care for many of those high care needs, memory care, and even the behavioral health needs. And these are such an excellent alternative because many of them also accept Medicaid. We're actually going to talk more about adult family homes next week, but unfortunately, there are some states that don't have adult family homes at all, or some that have very few. So, to sum it up, skilled nursing offers short term rehabilitation and long term care for those with higher care needs or those who are on Medicaid. And I know you've heard me say this before with any senior care setting, it's so important to tour a few places if you can, talk to the families you meet, and go with your gut. Have you had an experience with skilled nursing that you'd like to share? Or maybe a question that we didn't answer? Email us. We'd love to hear from you. And until next time, make it doable. Today's episode is brought to you by ClearPath Senior Living Solutions. ClearPath helps families find assisted living, memory care, and other resources. Find our contact information in today's show notes. Check out this episode's doable download in show notes for details, including industry terms and definitions we discussed, as well as a bonus tip from our guest. Have questions or your own tips to share? Leave us a message. We'd love to hear from you. And until next time, make it doable.